Always plugged in, watching it all unfold right here in the Situation Room. Here, we bring together the main actors to take their turn. Situation Room with 𝐴괜ᴜᴜ every Monday to always watching.
That's why I can say there.
Tᴜɪ̀nᴜ 98.3 FM. It's another always very special days because these are the 90s and the early 2000s. Throwback Thursday on Award J. You listen to Afro Time by 4 from Orlando or from King Sunny Ade, from listen to I think last week Wednesday, I had a few the names he was mentioning on that part. Buhari was mentioning the news saying democracy is dead enough. Atiku Abubakar is talking. Muhammadu Buhari is also still pledging his loyalty to the ruling All Progressive Congress. On Tuesday, I was watching it again this morning, and in a picture of Ogun State, now Senator Gbenga Daniels, he was sitting in front, and then there was the former governor of Sokoto, especially this 10th assembly is a retirement home. The president of the Senate is a former governor in Akwa Ibom State. You look at the structure, legislative position. Is it a case of the people to decide what you want to decide? So this is what I mean. How to grant a pardon to prisoners. So it's of land. That's how much power you have as a legislator, where former governors, former deputy governors, former speakers of houses of assemblies for governor in their states. So it's a conversation that will cut two key issues time soon. I'm talking about the suspended senator, the people in charge of the recall process said they seek. They already cut on the 13th of October 2020, and then the APC recall almost 500,000, and they would always call it politics, and that's the way it was submitted, that the INEC recall has begun. So the process, but talking about INEC 5. So the raid are conducted for who would replace political parties and party formation. We had over 70 political parties that went into the functional secretariat as some. So we have a bumper pack. You just see funny buildings, youth party towards the election. Now the place is now used as a gas plant immediately after the election. More importantly, we'll talk about INEC itself. Mr. Miwade show today to talk about how our democracy in the early 80s, down, all the way down. A man that has told me different stories about the last few Kashimawo. Politics is an advantage. Yeah. So good. The last 8 years of his leadership.
Well, I think you initially start election, you won't hear about and the ruling party. Everybody wants people to have an election cycle as well, which is quite unfortunate. And then I think he will complete his second term. I think of 8 years, is still holding the saddle because as you rightly mixed feelings. Why some people will not want to rate him along with Jega, their name, and some people will tell you outright, yes, we automatic in voting, I think, and then checking and the count voting was by using because of the catching ballot boxes reduced. I think reduced, and there's also some people also tell you that I think it's a mixed bag. So the electronics, digital process into our election now, that there's hope that maybe somebody will come and an election process, the better you reduce manipulation. You know, in some cannot have 2 BVN numbers. You cannot have 2 NI about your data. So whether you are 18 years, do you understand, anywhere you are, do you understand, you're automated to allow you to vote. So that you don't need ballot papers, you don't have to go to anywhere. That with your phone, stand, maybe somebody will take us to that level. And by and large, the last 2023 election, some of the problems people thought it created. How will you now say that what we call it, it's part
IREF.
of IREF?
It's a viewing center.
So how will you? Yes, and you say you have test run and a lot of things
went down.
Well, we are allegedly up. And I'm sure he will not be one of those about another June 12th on his hand. That what actually happened in 2023. That IRF suddenly did not match
with
the
physical
one I think it represented. So understand. So now he may question the Nigerians who keep on understand. Babangida denied consider all facts with him 30 years ago, when the whole picture was so clear. INEC chairman, understand, he must tell Nigerians the truth and nothing but the truth about everything peacefully in his graves. So he hold Nigeria that one eyes of the coin. Yeah.
But you may be the most transparent and different roles in that election. Against it itself, but of the Senate at the street. That's the man that the former national Sɪᴛᴜᴜ who died about a month ago. He was buried early. I think conduct had grown within the period. Let me put it down to that 1990 part of INEC.
About the Third Republic. See no reason. But politicians play on sentiments. So because if you don't understand, okay, now June 12th, not today. If the way chicken will be talking of June 12th today, you end this result. You understand? And they will declare you saw to a constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria of your ability. And you've had all the and announced and ready to face the consequence. Today will have become to you. We're holding. And when things have come down, all the wish him eternal rest, peaceful rest. Allow the gentleman to rest. Because the environment then, we are talking of the process that initially banned all, including many first and second. You brought people like Professor Momorua and could give them money to start. Not only give them borrowing somebody's house
to conduct. That's
government. NRC in one end of the town, we have the local government in the secretariat, SDP in the other, and nationwide, and the state secretariat also, and the national secretariat also. We are talking of plethora of 16 or 17 political parties. That military government, where you cannot say you are such a party. Nigerians look, just senators look at this. They are lazy. Now, so an exercise that was not cast him down. Some people might say it's beyond him. It's not beyond him, right? If I kill you, the worst to do is to say they are jailing you, and many people were jailed. Are talking today. You will have just released the result and say, "Well, my hands are."
So it was a moment he missed in he was done speaking. I'm sure that if the president of the Senate had gone into a vote, the nays will have had it.
I don't know. I don't know. I simply don't know. To scoop around, to begin to get the result around in states, wherever, right? So I don't know advantage. Nigerians are very good in that. I think I knew what he suffered beyond his control, or because he feared for his life, or it. So says Shakespeare and Julius Caesar.
It's the primaries of all of the political parties will have it conducted. How INEC is about, apart from even the nomenclature being an independent break. We just finished talking about Professor Sɪᴛᴜᴜ right now. Are Nigerians expecting from who becomes the next INEC chairman?
I think they believe so much to know some people for who they are. And let me the agents doing their job effectively well. Somebody that loves manipulate cannot be a good INEC chairman. The politician, but we have few people, not many, how to underline. They will do that. What is the intention of Mr. President, first and foremost? That will not only ready to be subservient to him or his party. Have somebody with integrity. And not many, but we have them in abundance in this country. There are plenty. The result and disappeared. I remember, I forgot that your car in
Ekiti.
In Ekiti, Ondo State. We saw that one. Not being biased, they can give result that may. could say,
we once had a speaker.
If we could get somebody like, and we still have many credible ladies like that in this country, manipulated by any and you're going to be until I complete this assignment. We could say all depends on what you want in going on. There'll be intense talks.
Are made for life.
You are made for life because politicians are ready to give you an amount to get it done. And you run a system in the country that you will be in government before you get to Supreme Court. The whole world is watching him. The whole world knows Mr. President as a politician like Buhari or like Jonathan. Is a typical that want everything in his favor in Nigeria. He should dance to people if he really loves this country. For both to dig into, I don't know. No, I think why must you be a professor to defend any theory? Your job is to make sure you don't. Your job is to ensure that people had credibility. The outgoing INEC chairman is that look at the downward trend of voters' participation. Check the results in the last 8 or 12 years. The number of people that the percentage coming down every year. We believe that their votes will count. Each of people that were casting votes of Professor when casting votes in Edo State. So what I'm saying in essence is that we need electoral processes that will encourage Nigerians now to go and cast chairman of INEC. I think for Nigerians, a good record, it should be parading. But the new man should do like a lecturer in the school that refuses to compromise. He knows what to do. It's like anybody at umpire is Arsenal or Man U play. Do you understand? And he did his job fairly. You say good. That's what we are saying. That he must be transparent. Again, simply because this country. When I was looking parties in the last election, some of the political parties did not disclose their own. But Labour Party but both PDP and APC did not disclose how much.
And maybe they don't even know.
Law made it compulsory for them. After that was the position of the law, right? Then the whole money for the adverts, what they spent on litigation.
And everything they spend in the election proper.
And they go and ask people. Go and ask how much.
They have world-class chambers.
Yeah. Do you understand?
Election
Some will not charge in naira. They will charge in dollars. I know more that I knew. The China talking seven digits had been transparent.
There was one House of Reps member. Reps, not Senate.
Mandate. How much will the senator spend? The president. Do you get my point? You were defeated. So you spend so much money on litigation. God will see every time election is coming. There must be a serious and thorough that to be of Nigerians within and outside the country. So that's I don't have anybody in mind. I don't know anybody, right? But if it's not in our place, if we know.
If it's not in our place.
By self-interest. The body language of Mr. President, what does he want? Does he want somebody that will play his game?
In Nigeria.
Okay.
You talk with a few of them. Every single Nigerian agenda that I just mentioned and in who becomes the INEC chairman is going to be very huge. Professor Mahmood Yakubu, in fact, there's a local government named after Jega. Do you think, now, before you answer that, from this is contested in the last election to reps to government,
elections are
credible indeed. In 2015, total action decline. In 2000, he moved to 68 registered.
Yes.
So by 23.5 million, only 28 million came to percentage of just 29%.
29%.
In 2015,
not just to confirm, just to tell you, increasing. are involved. More people do not believe. We can as well say maybe because people think that it's quite unfortunate. INEC chairman, the voter INEC is one of those factors. Yes.
Defend his election. Is Honorable Amobi Godwin defend his election? Sure. He's a reps member, not a senator, not a governor, not a press about how sensitive these decisions from Mr. Hey, whether we like it or not, I was able to do this. Those were just things people were. Tinubu has the opportunity to choose who will literally determine any kind of sentiment whatsoever, religious, tribal.
Me, I'm not care any part of the country the new INEC chairman is coming from. Do you know what I'm saying? Gave election, many people thought
was
fear. And is either from him or from Abia, right? Do you understand? Or from Port Harcourt. They bring somebody that all Nigerians, first and foremost, will trust, will want to believe in. If somebody that had been tainted, don't you see, have you forgotten that here in a APC carry member, all Nigerians shouted. They tried, quickly went down, do you understand, and asked the president to change it. So what I'm saying is that Mr. President should conduct a thorough search. Loretta. All Nigerians kicked against her that no,
they won.
Nigerians won. With it, Mr. should love Nigeria our own checks and speak up. We all Nigerians refuse to keep quiet. We are all going to sink. A wreck ban that
had their way.
Had their ways. And we shall continue complaining.
Yeah, 38.
Democracy is not for us. We must try and challenge. That's like you having 4 or 5 may not be sufficient for all the children. But we're coming, you understand. So, and you want neighbors to people like 괜ᴜᴜ. Do you understand? They're just speaking the truth. It's not a responsibility. Understand? They are kicking against policies that perhaps some they have spoken to you in the afternoon against government policies, and by 8 or 9 o'clock, do you understand? So meaning that he was kicking against that point because all their story will change. And they said, and somebody has also jailed him. So why might won't be different? The truth. When things are not going out, protesting, even they have a space for them. And you see, do you understand? In Washington DC, you see a place we allow only Szīwòrē their
chambers
of their chambers or the way it should go, and that's how to defend democracy, because it's the one that owns the power of who can. You must be able to check the person. Simply because we don't know the power, asking where Oᴑ̀yẹmí go to the Aᴅᴜᴜ if you are doing it rightly the way I wanted or not, and that's what make the
approval ratification.
So you have your gun that's brute as that, but on this democracy, said or not, but they still claim that
our consent was gotten.
In that enough, we are so complacent, and when we want to finish it, God will restore everything for us. Do you understand? And when they begin to come down to that level, we're supposed to fight for ourselves, right? What is supposed to complain about ourselves?
Mr. Miwa, let's slide straight up into the next conversation. The phone 5. In case you're just tuning in, your live on guest today and every Thursday by enough time. And I love the fact that we have this much time to spend on the issue of the outgoing chairman of INEC. By November 2025, the tenure of Professor Mahmood Yakubu, as it says, non-renewable terms of 8 years. So are now looking for in the new turnout in election is declining, but voters registration is going up. And use this, I can do that.
They were asking in the hospitals, they were asking some local government register. They went to register, but it does not show in the voting pattern.
Because in total contrast to what democracy should be about, it's a total contrast. John has given him that power to choose who becomes INEC. Many Nigerians will choose who becomes INEC chairman, whether they can scrutinize the person.
Yes.
Not even the candidate, because the candidate is always confined, but especially this 10th assembly that have been under heavy scrutiny.
With
intriguing when you have conversations like this. Mr. Odeyemi, the issue of political party fiat to set up the NRC and the SDP, it was a unique situation because the military time In the 2019 election, Mr. DME, we went into that election. Out of those 19, only 11 of them fielded presidential candidates. And if you look at in the state, I think Abga has one state. The rest is between the PDP and the APC. As by the way, we also have the Labour parties. I think they were like party registration, a business in Nigeria. I'm going to respond to that question when we're back from the...
Follow us on Oland FM. We are the sound of Lagos.
The president must know that this is a bad time for our nation. We must rise to it.
A new day, a new event. Old actors meet new ones, and a fresh twist adds up to the old subplot. Something unexpected blows up under the sun. But when elephants fight,
you're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM. The sound of Lagos. Dreaming of a world-class education, the University of...
The venue is at Marriott Hotel, Ikeja, Lagos.
We take HND holders into direct share.
We're going to be giving out on-spot offers. We're taking nursing interviews and giving out discounts and answering all your burning questions. That's here.
Date, Friday, April 4th, 2025. Time and more info, email nigeria@hearts.ac.uk. Call or WhatsApp us on 081 8022 77.
Chai, my head oh.
August.
Yes, see result oh. Calcium, take 'em.
Another quality product from Hovid, marketed by Pharmatex Nigeria Limited. If symptoms persist after 3 days, see your doctor.
Everybody say thanks, Luther.
Hey, they are killing people in the east, in the west, in the south, in the north. We should shut down the National Assembly. Let's
Twist adds up to the old subplot. Something unexpected blows up under the sun. But when elephants fight, all unfold right here in the Situation Room. Here, we bring together the main actors to take their turns on Bread with 𝐴̀kpɛ̀ɛ̀mɪakɪɔdɛ every Monday to Friday from 4 to 5:30 p.m.
Again, say there. The eyes have it.
Thank you very much for staying with us. Don't forget that by 5:30 we'll have the Mainland FM song. The things you need to know, especially on the upcoming FIFA World introduction to the transfer windows that would open because of the involvement in the case. Just joining us, let me tell you for a fact, you've missed, but you can go on as Mr. Mᴜɪ̀fọ̀sọ is here, and we've looked at the issue of so Mahmood Yakubu as the chairman of INEC would have been over an election he's going to probably be a part of. He's not declared whether he's going to run for a second term, but from all of the feelers and the body language, especially what the chairman of the APC, has said, that the party is ready to capture as much state as they can ahead of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's second term in office. But he himself is yet to declare. Mr. DME, we were talking about the commercialization of party registration in Nigeria. How detrimental is that to our
T1 groups? Kind of political parties are seeking for registration. Already registered, I think less than 6 have impact at the National Assembly. Perhaps we can consider them to be viable. Unknown to Nigerians. You go and get some rickety houses in some area. I think to help you draft vice, which anybody can. No, let me tell you something. Go and look at the PDP or for APC. Do you understand? So that's just it. You won't see anything fresh. So you don't begin to laugh. But fundamentals, you won't see anything different. In the newspaper about the agenda of your party, once you see a good candidate, your level like that,
you offer them tickets.
You understand? So you offer them this. That's why they're going to show him how much. And for the presidency, presidential ticket he wanted. So that's when there was for that until Peter Obi got in. Labour Party was one level, could still not change it. So he tried to change that, and then you can see what is going on. And will never allow him. And that's what the game is going on in the party. People wanted to register political party to achieve what? Through 17 political parties before they can contest. You can see how the truth that these people are not doing it for the interest of democracy. They are simply doing it for their selfish interest and to commercial of people registering which party and for what purpose. And the Nigerians should know one thing. Go and look at the history of parties have been governing, whether in London, whether in the United Kingdom or in that there is no reason of alliance for the purpose of setting agenda, a platform to speak, like Green Party. Green Party would never change. Do you understand? Conservation. So they want the environment to be green. Do you understand? But there had been a party that is not one of the election, but for the purpose of being a group of people with certain set of beliefs wanted to be heard. Right? Yeah, one of the platform because these minorities are suffering. But in Nigeria, all the parties we are having is for to win the election. See how they have been performing woefully
at the election.
At the elections. So Nigerians should know that, but simply because they want to provide alternative platform, that's the essence, and which eventually they will also lose. And should discard those nonsense. The issue, do you understand? They should not, even if anything,
to go and join.
To go and join. Members in Ogun State are already on their way to SZP.
There's ADC.
So there's ADC. There's AD.
There's also a Action Alliance.
Action Alliance.
There's a court party.
just understand. Not a you want to talk about this world that we know where we are. Nigerians are talking of opposition party allow for multiplicity of political making a mess of the whole process, and we are giving them legal backing.
It's fair for us to just squeeze in a couple of calls before we say our goodbyes on the show. Hello, good evening. Hello, Pastor Ambrose.
Yes, we'll talk off radio. Okay, 𝐴ᴏᴜᴜ was it?
It's almost after the election.
Let me come and tell us why Aᴑ said I'd rather that I will leave the activists now. I think Aᴑ spoke that they should not join them. They are joint politicians.
I have a couple of seconds before we say our goodbyes on the show. 091360004. Hello.
Bad looking citizens that they are the one that wants to Ghana before I left Ghana. People came outside and vote and go back. What was voter apathy? This Lagos here, they were beating.
I want to promise you that I'm going to read all of the messages to the outgoing chairman of INEC, and secondly, the commercialization of power as high as 100. Let how many people, because sometimes when you look at the ballot paper and then you are looking for drums on another logo of a political party, your vote automatically gets apologized for. See, we have loads of messages there. So tomorrow is Friday, and we'll also be able to respond to all of those. Thank you so much, Mr. Aᴑ, for being my guest on the show. Size of the package. Next up is the Sunset News, everything sports, and much more for you. My name is Oᴑᴜ.